Hello everybody, it is Michelle with Unicorn Spit. Hello, I'm really excited today. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a couple of little things that I like to do whenever I unicorn spit for pet friendly projects. Here I am making a giant base perch that's made for a large bird. So it could be for a parrot, or if you're into falconry, this is a great perch for that. Of course, if it's falconry, you're gonna wanna put some leather on it. But this is just untreated pine wood. It's pretty cool. I really like it a lot. It's easy to work with, it's inexpensive, and being that it's untreated, it's safe for your animals. So I'm going to be going and showing you guys how I stain with unicorn spit and also enhance the wood. Give me 1 second here for everyone to tune in. If you are tuned in, say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from, and I will, I'm gonna go grab my, my torch real quick. Hey honey, share my YouTube to the Q&A. All right, so here we go, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so what we have here is a butane torch. You can use a lot of different sizes. There are some really, really big ones, but this one is just, you can get it at your local hardware. What I'm doing here, I am just burning the grain, and as you can see on the lower area, I'm gonna try to zoom in for you. On the lower area, you can see that there is really beautiful pattern going on here. The wood is actually going to have like a zebra stripe to it, which I think is going to be really pretty. It's going to make it very earthy. Now, you don't have to do this step if you want really bright colors. You can do it just as it is. The colors will turn out really bright and vibrant. However, I'm wanting a more earth tone look. So I want earthier, warmer tones, and as opposed to adding midnight blackness, you could do that as well. I really wanted to just enhance this grain on this wood as much as possible. This pine up here doesn't really have much of a grain. This is just the type of wood that you use for like your closets and such. So let's go ahead and get that colorization on there. Going to get that nice and dark, and then we're going to come back with this one because it's where its feet are, and we're going to do a light sanding, and that light sanding is going to remove a lot of the darkness that we're burning into the wood, but it will help the pattern out a little bit. If you go in nice smooth directions, you won't get so much of a cheetah print pattern. However, because there is such a lack of wood grain on this whole wood, I am not worrying about the cheetah print pattern that you get from holding the torch in one spot too much or not doing even burns. Really don't mind that very much. So we're getting this nice and burnt. Excuse me. Also give us a chance to touch up any of the other areas that we may have missed or enhance it a little bit more. There we go. As you can see, it's not like it catches on fire. Some people do show Shugi Bond to the point where it does catch on fire, and that'll give you a deeper grain, but we're totally not going for that. So we got that step completed. So let's get going here. If you guys want, in order to increase our viewers on here and get some more comments and things like that, go ahead and share this to your favorite Facebook groups. I'll give you a few seconds. I'm going to go grab a piece of sandpaper. All right, guys, I got my sandpaper here. Now I'm working with 80 grit sandpaper, and I also have a cloth. This helps you get a better grip on your I'm sorry, it helps you clean it off. I don't know what I was thinking there. So what we're going to do, we're just going to sand back a lot of this darkness that we had put on by just following the grain. You don't want to go against the grain whenever you're sanding. It's also going to make sure that your birds don't get any splinters or anything like that. So just go ahead and sand that down. As a warmer tone. It'll almost look like walnuts when we're done, which is really exciting. All right, now the base I did not sand, and I'm not going to. I'm gonna just let it be in all of its glory. There's a couple of places where like the wood was kind of chipped, and I think that just adds to the beauty of it. So I'm gonna leave it alone. Sandpaper is kind of flimsy. All right. Now we have that completed. We're just going to take a clean towel or cloth, and we're just going to dust it off. All right, and you can see how much darkness came off of that. So there's a lot of dirty. It's pretty crazy. I see some folks watching. I don't know how to see comments. This is my first live. So if you're watching, give me a comment of where you are commenting from so that I know everything's working fine. I don't know. All right, we're gonna be coming in with, I thought it'd be really fun to make this one like a blue and a turquoise, because blue and turquoise are my colors. So Unicorn Spit, it comes in the concentrate. All right, I can see and hear you. Oh, good, thank you. All right, thank you. It made me feel a little bit more secure. All right, so Unicorn Spit comes in the concentrate. You can dilute it with up to 10 parts water. All right, that means that you just need a little tiny bit. You use water as opposed to, you know, having to use wood conditioner and multiple coats. You actually need to water it down. Otherwise, it's thick like a paint, and it works great in all types of different things. If you want to make it self-sealing, you can mix it with a water-based top coat in order to make it a self-sealing stain. But I personally like to use it as the raw form concentrated pigment that it is by just diluting it with water. What that does allows me to use it on all types of different surfaces that may be in contact with children that might bite on them, or dogs or cats, or even our birds like we're making here. So I'm going to move this into the sunlight so you guys can see these colors come alive. Let me just kick my my camera back a little bit. There we go. All right, you guys don't want to see me necessarily. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. So I'm working with Blue Thunder. That's going to be my first color. And what I personally like to do in order to conserve, I like to get a big, thick, natural bristle brush like you see here. And I like to get it wet. So it gets wet with lots of water. There we go. So I get it wet with water. And then I just take my Unicorn Spit and I put a little dab right in the middle. So you can see how that is. So I put probably like a little tiny teaspoon in the middle of my brush. This makes it so that I can add more water as I'm going and dilute as I go in order to get the exact pigmentation that I want. I want to either have it really faint color or a really strong color. It all depends on when I'm working, because I really enjoy it. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's get started on the base. So I'm gonna turn it this way. Let me move my camera so that you guys can have better lighting. And let's get started. All right. Yes, I'm in quarantine, everybody. Everybody out here. We are in Shawnee, Kansas. So everybody's in quarantine right now. So I am working from home, and it's wonderful. All right. So here we go. As you can see, it stains perfectly right into that wood grain. No resistance because it's untreated. And we're getting beautiful coloring here. And I want it to be a varying color. I don't want it to be all one strength of it. And now my brush is dry. All I do, like I ran out, I do not have to reapply, because you can see there's a deeper shade right in the middle. I'm just gonna wet it with some water. that rehydrates it. And look at that. You get your stain all over again. And right now it's very light. And so this gives me an opportunity to think, okay, well, maybe I want to add a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and just get our stain right on the brush. That's why I really like using these brushes. I want it to be a deeper blue. So I'm just taking my pre-wet brush and taking it right over that wood grain. Here we go. There we go. So you can see how strong this coloring is. Again, I'm going to need more water. Let's go ahead and get that on. We got to get that water going here. And you can see how you're getting all these multifaceted tones. You're getting greens, you're getting blues, you're getting a ton of different colors. And the best part about it is that because there's no plastics in it, because it's not self-sealing, you don't have to worry about brush strokes. All you have is just regular stain. It's just absorbing and sucking right down into that wood like a dye. So you're not having to sit there and worry about brush strokes and different things like that. I'm really loving this darker blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add some more water to my brush. Add a little bit more unicorn spit, but I'm gonna kind of punch it down into the bristles here so that I get some more like longevity out of it. Here we go. We're gonna just run it right up the front. You can see that it only takes one coat, and it's so easy to apply. There's no, worrying about a drip or something like you see down there. Just grab it and pull it straight up. Any droplets, they easily blend right into the surface that was there. So it's a beautiful stain. It's easy to work with. And it smells like jasmine. So you get aromatherapy, you get color therapy, you get art therapy. There's all types of wonderful things about this. And what I like even more is that I don't have to worry about my brushes drying with it in it, because it will just easily wash right out your brush, even if it dries in it. That's a huge deal for me because I have kids, I have dogs, I have birds. We are always on the go, and I don't always have time to clean my brushes out per se. I can just go ahead and leave my brush like this, like you see right now, and come back in a month or 2 hours, wet my brush, and reactivate whatever's left over in it to do it again. So let's go ahead and turn this around and do the other side here. All right, put some more on here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start at the top and work our way down. Get in all those little crevices, really easy there. Let it penetrate right into that grain. All right, here we go. So here goes our last little bit we have to do here. Again, we're making sure that we get into all those little crevices. Works so much easier if you wet the wood first. It's like a wood conditioner without the expense. It's just water. All right, let's get our base here. Here we go. It's turning out really beautiful. I'm loving it. It says that I'm reconnecting, so maybe you guys can see me, maybe you can't. I don't know. But I'm just gonna keep working along here because maybe on the playback, it will let you guys see more. A little bit more on my brush. So I want to go ahead and just get this raptor receiver done. Get around those little corners and tight edges. And I'm gonna come back with a fine brush in order to get into the really itty bitty spots. All right, so there we go. The only spot left to do now is their sides. As you know, like painting sides like this is kind of difficult because the wood never really wants to accept like that wood grain with the paint. Oh, it's terrible. Or staining it, super nuts. But with Unicorn Spit, it's no problem at all. You can see this spot here. It's very textured. So what I'm gonna do is first let it start accepting the stain in there. Figured out we should be good to go. Oh, hey, here we go. We've got some comments finally. Oh my Lord. Okay guys, let me read your comments real quick. Can you add it to stain or paint? Yes, of course. You can always add Unicorn Spit to tint paints, but you definitely want to do like a lighter tone. If you do a really dark tone, it's going to you know, get richer. Let's see what else. What other comments do we have? Can you add it to other stains and paints? Yes. I'm glad you love it, Kenna. Thank you. You can't see the bottom. Let me point down a little bit more. Why would you use water as opposed to Floetrol? Well, Floetrol I use for doing flow art, and I'm not doing flow art right now. I'm staining wood. Let's see here. Unicorn Spit is my favorite medium. Michelle Nicole is a wonderful teacher. Oh, thank you so much. Is that a shaving brush? No, this is actually a waxing brush. It's a palm waxing brush. I get these from, excuse me, I get them made. You can find them on my little store. I have a little store called michellenicoles.com where I have concept colors and different things like that, where you can always find all of the materials that I use. Ooh, I want this stain to go into that crack. So I'm just going to really soak this crack right here, and I'm going to take my brush and go across it, and it'll just drip down. There we go. I'm so glad that you guys can see me. I was so nerved out thinking you guys couldn't see me at all. We've got 3 watchers. Let's see what else. All right, just curious. A shaving brush might work though. I'm not gonna lie, it could possibly work. All right, let's turn this raptor guy over this way. Now you guys see we have this one spot here that we still need to stain. I'm not even gonna reapply. I'm just gonna use whatever's left over on my brush to give me a variance in color. It'll be okay that it's a little bit lighter than the other areas. Of course, you could go very symmetrical if you choose, but you can see how well it works on that pine. And burning that green just gives it this really awesome coloration that you just can't do anywhere else. It's pretty neat. Now, as you're watching it, you'll notice that it's starting to get kind of like a chalky color. That's letting you know that it's drying. Once the whole thing has become more of a muted tone and it gets kind of chalky looking, that means that it is dry and ready to be sealed. So today it's pretty humid, but I would reckon it's probably going to be maybe 5 minutes before I'm going to be able to seal this. And I'm going to be sealing it because it is for pet use. I want to seal it with something that's food safe and non-hypoallergenic. So my choice is going to be butcher block oil. You can get any butcher block oil in order to seal this. It is going to take multiple coats, just like your butcher block. So whenever you get a butcher block, it hydrates it, it seals it. However, as time goes by, you need to reapply, and I'm fine with that. It gradually starts polymerizing in order to give yourself a nice, you know, like a cast iron pan. You know how you can finally cure them so that nothing sticks to them? Wood can work the same way as long as you're using like an absorbing oil such as butcher block oil, which you can get next to anywhere, even most grocery stores. So this is wonderful because you can do this inside your home. You don't have to worry about fumes. You can do this, you know, in a preschool setting. So with butcher block oil, you wouldn't have to worry about them getting it in their mouths or anything like that. It's safe for us to cook or serve and cut our food on. Maybe not cook on. It probably is, but who would want to? It probably tastes terrible in place of butter or regular oils that we use to cook with. All right, guys, I'm gonna let this dry for a minute. I'm gonna get my little brush and I'm gonna go in and get these little crevices, and then I'll tune back in here probably in about 15 minutes so I can get all of my little nooks and crannies covered, and then I'll show you how easy it is to seal it to make sure that it's child and pet friendly for use. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until I see you again, which will be just a few minutes. Be good, be blessed, and always let your creative juices flow. Bye.
What channel were you on?